Hi farm friends, welcome to Haven Acres. I'm Stacy and I'm so glad that you're joining us today. If it's your first time here, thank you for joining us. I hope that you enjoy seeing a little bit of our life here on the farm. And if you're not new here and you check up on us regularly, I say thank you. Please, everyone give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you prefer, whatever your thing is. And leave a comment if there's something you want to see in the future about what we do around here, or if you have any suggestions or tips on ways we could do things better. I would love to hear about it. So let's get on with the topic for today's video. I'm so excited, if you can't tell. I got a Baker Creek seed order yesterday. Wow, that was a lot. I got my seeds from Baker Creek yesterday, and I wanted to be able to go over what I ordered and why with you. So I had to wait a whole overnight. I didn't even open them, and I wanted to so badly. I know for any of you who are gardeners, getting seeds, even if it's one package, is like Christmas. It's, you know, it's amazing. And I'm not going to lie, currently, and for the past few years, Baker Creek has been my favorite place to get seeds. Rareseeds.com is their actual website, but if you just Google Baker Creek seeds, you'll find them. They're in Missouri, I believe. I need glasses. Yes, Missouri. But I'm gonna say, as much as I would like to buy seeds from Maine, which I have, we have Johnny's Seeds in Maine, which is a great company. We also, very local to us, have Pine Tree Seeds, which is a good company. I have never had failure with Baker Creek seeds. Never. I've been buying seeds from them for probably 6, maybe 7 years, maybe even longer, but at least 6 or 7 years. And I always have great germination rates. The information that they give on the packets it's accurate information, even for our area. So Baker Creek is where I get the bulk of our seeds when we need them. Let's dig in. I like the fact that they give you a receipt, because if you are a farm that grows vegetables for your living, like we do, that's part of what we do. If you're a farm and you make money from your farm, it's nice to have a receipt like this that you can just tuck away or put into your accounting books, and that way you know that your seeds have been put towards your expenditures for your taxes for 2024 or whatever year you're in. I love that. Okay, let's go. Crimson clover. This is something new to me this year. Crimson clover was described in their catalog as a great forage for cattle and other livestock, along with the really beautiful, I'm going to call them catkins because I don't really know what they're called, but the flower of the crimson clover is a huge attractor for pollinators. And if you've been with us for a while, you know that we are beekeepers, and I love growing things that will keep the bees fed, keep them busy, and keep them around here as best possible. Number one, that obviously helps feed them. It helps keep their colonies strong, but it also keeps them around our gardens so that our vegetables hopefully get pollinated. So crimson clover, it's a ground cover. It was said in their catalog that it suppresses weeds. So my hope is to, I got a few of these in here. My hope is to do some little test areas in the orchard, maybe around the blueberries, to see how tall it really gets in our area and if it really does suppress the weeds. How amazing would it be to, you know, plant crimson clover in between the rows of your garden bed to have a green walkway and suppress weeds at the same time. To me, that would be amazing. And if it's a really vigorous grower, maybe we can scatter it in the pasture and it's just more forage for the animals. So that's why I got that. And these, the flowers are not like a red clover that's more round. These are definitely more oblong. And what does it say? Frost hardy, sprouts in 7 to 10 days. Says also that it's good for wildlife forage. So who knows, it might be something if you enjoy feeding the deer. This might be something as well. So crimson clover, celery, Deline, I don't know how to say it. However, I grew this last year and it was phenomenal. I had a whole bed dedicated to celery. We had a horrible year last year with slugs. We had so much rain last year and the slugs were horrible. I can't even tell you, like I couldn't even describe to you how bad the slugs were all season long. I had to plant 3 times celery. I started them as seedlings in the greenhouse and transplanted them into the garden. I had to replant 3 times because of the slugs. In the end, I did end up with an amazing row of celery that was probably that tall. This is a shorter variety. It's like a shorter, stockier variety of celery. It was this tall. I'll see if I can find a picture of me holding one of the celery with just the roots were amazing. But at the end of the season, when I was getting ready to go out and cut the celery down, wouldn't you know, the deer jumped our fence and demolished our whole garden, celery included. I actually, because you know me, I did a little something. I left the celery roots in the ground. Thought maybe they'll come back to life depending on how bad our winter is. They shouldn't, but they're either going to rot and turn back into good soil or they'll sprout. I don't think they're gonna sprout, but it's just how I roll. I like to do experiments. So, celery. More crimson clover. Squash. So this is crookneck early golden summer squash. Summer squash is one of those things, I don't love summer squashes, but crookneck squash I do love for 2 reasons. It's a super easy vegetable to just slice up, toss in a saute pan with some butter and onions and just saute it. You're done. Little salt and pepper seasoning if you'd like. It's an easy meal. It's an easy side to a meal. It literally takes minutes to do. Another reason why I like this is because you can do the same thing in tin foil, fold it up like an envelope and put it on the barbecue grill with some oil or butter in there and it cooks fabulously. It takes the same amount of time as a hamburger would. So I love it for that reason. And when I was a child, my grandmother and grandfather were kind of people who really inspired me without me realizing it. I watched what my grandfather did. They were homesteaders. They both worked. My grandfather was a lineman for Public Service of New Hampshire his whole career, and my grandmother, she was a cook and kept home for a sea captain in their area, and they did all of the homesteading things. They had blueberries in a garden and smokehouse, and my grandfather hunted, and they clammed, and all of the things that homesteaders would have done in the day, they did. And for some reason, I just remembered that my grandfather grew crookneck squash, so it's kind of just, you know, one of those little things for me too. And of course it does well in any climate. Pepper, California Wonder. I can grow pepper plants like nobody's business. The plants, the green part looks amazing. The peppers, not so much. This is my third year here at this farm that I will be trying peppers. If I don't succeed this year growing actual fruit on the peppers, this will be my last year trying. I say that not to say that I give up easily, because I don't. I mean, 3 years, and I do dedicate a lot of garden space to peppers. But my theory is, if you, for whatever reason, can't grow something, whether it's your climate, your soil, your conditions, your time ability, your knowledge, if you just can't grow something, why dedicate space to it? I would rather dedicate space to something that I know I can succeed at. I can sell those things and buy peppers from someone else. It's not that big of a deal. Yes, in theory, I would love to be able to grow all of our own peppers, dehydrate them, freeze them, use them fresh, obviously, and be set on peppers for the year. But so far, that's not been my reality. So this year, I'm going to try one more time. I have planted these California peppers before. They did grow. I did get some peppers, and these are red peppers. However, they're green first. All peppers, or the majority of peppers, are green first, and then they turn their color. You can still use the peppers when they're green. They just don't have the same taste. They're just not as fully developed. So this is what we're going with this year, and I think I do have some pepper seeds left over from last year that I'll probably try them as well. More squash. Oh, so this is interesting. When you order from Baker Creek Seeds, if you order, I think it's maybe 10, I don't remember. If you order a certain number of seed packets, they send you a free seed packet. The more you order, the more free seeds you get. But you never know. It's like, you know, you just never know what the seeds are going to be. This year, or this one, is a radish. Easy to grow. I love radishes. Japanese wasabi. Ooh, that sounds amazing. So it says, this round shaped Japanese daikon radish has intentionally pungent, spicy flavor, perfect for, I can't see it, lovers of wasabi. Chefs and experimental home cooks will love something to play with this sensational root crop. All right. Well, I can't read because I can't, but That sounds amazing. I'm excited. And how many seeds are in there? Seems like a decent amount for free seeds. I don't know, but that's exciting. Oh, so this is something new to me this year as well. And in an effort to try to grow and raise as much of our food as possible, some things just aren't possible. We don't have the space, we don't have the property, we don't have the right setup to grow wheat or rye or grains, things like that. But we can grow corn. So this corn is called glass gem. Look how pretty that is. I have a friend, someone that Jesse used to work with when he worked at his real job, and they grew glass gem corn. I thought it was so pretty. So this corn is a corn that you plant just like you do any other kind of corn. The kernels are all of these different colors, but this corn, you can actually dry it, which is what my intention is. It's not like a fresh eating corn. You dry the cob and you can take off the kernels and they can be used for popcorn. They are a little tight, you know, corn when they pop. They're not like great big huge popcorn kernels or anything like that, but you can pop them. But why I really get this is for grinding. This will make great cornmeal. So I'm super excited for this, not only just to have something pretty, and of course you could, you know, dry these and hang them on your door for decoration in the fall or whatever. I'm super excited about this one. I hope that it works. I hope I can keep the deer out of it. That's exciting. Ooh, another free one after my pepper talk. Pepper datil. They look really pretty. It says 100 days blazing hot. Blunt little 3.5-inch fruit ripens to a brilliant orange yellow. Vicious heat. Complex fruity flavor. I will not be planting these. Probably not. I might, just because. I suppose they would be, I might plant them. Okay, I might plant them. I could dehydrate them and grind it and use it in pepper powder or vegetable seasoning, which I make. So, all right, I'll probably plant them. And you know what? If I plant them and mark them well, note to self, mark them well, I might be able to sell some little, you know, flats to somebody. There's not a ton of seeds in there, but that's exciting. Thank you, Baker Creek. Sunspot Dwarf Cola. Its annual single large flowers are very impressive in their size, 10 inches for the flower heads on 2 to 3 foot plants. So the plants themselves are only going to be this tall, but the heads are going to be like this big. So that's pretty cool. And why I got sunflowers, I got many varieties of sunflowers, is not only do they look beautiful, they add height to the garden, they add structure, they add color, the birds love it. I can take my sunflower heads off, dry them. What I did this year is I just left one as an experiment in the greenhouse, and it's dried nicely, and then I can take those flower heads and just toss them in with the chickens, and it gives the chickens something to do. Sunflower seeds are very nutritious for not only humans, but dairy cows love sunflower seeds. It's good for them. And chickens, I don't have goats, so I don't know about that, but for most living things, sunflower seeds is a great source of protein and healthy fat. So that's why I got the sunflower seeds this year, is so that I can make a huge crop of heads of sunflower seeds to just dry and give the chickens one every now and again in the winter. That's going to be beautiful. Carrot, new Carota carrot. We have grown Carota carrots before, not new Carota, but just Carota carrots before, and they did amazing. They grew really well for us. This was at our old home. This year, at this home rather, carrots have done okay. Not really great. However, I am working on the soil to get it less compact. I think I'm going to try adding sand to my carrot bed this year, incorporating it with the soil. We just have very rich, heavy soil, and carrots really need a loose soil, something that they can grow in. And I just love this variety. It's sweet, it tastes amazing. If you've never had a fresh carrot pulled out of the ground, you don't even know. I encourage anyone, if you have never done that before, whether you grow them yourself or you go somewhere, if you see someone growing carrots and you have never done it before, ask if you can have one. Just be bold and ask. Pull it out of the ground, wipe it off, and eat it. It tastes like a carrot like you have never tasted before. Grocery store carrots taste like something orange with water. That's what they taste like. Carrots grown from your garden taste like carrots. Carrots, really good. Beans, dry beans. So this is also something new for us. Cherokee Trail of Tears. I watch a YouTube channel called Appalachia's Homestead, and I believe she has mentioned these before. She is, her family is from Appalachia. She has Cherokee heritage. I believe she has mentioned these before. I love having dried beans, but I don't always have the garden space to do a full row, which I have grown Jacob's cattle beans before. I'm trying to think of what some of the other ones that I've done. I've done like a white bean, which I don't recall what the flavor, what the name is, but they're good. I love having dried beans because you can kind of just let them do their thing. The whole deal with dried beans is you grow them, you let them essentially die, and they're drying in your garden on the vine, they're drying in the pods, and then by the time your garden is pretty much done, then you can take those pods and shell them and have shelled beans to either you can just put them in a jar and preserve them that way, just dried, or you can actually pressure can them, which is a favorite thing of mine to do, to put them in pressure canning jars and with just some water, some seasoning if you'd like, and pressure can them. And that way when you need beans for fajitas or tacos, or you're making anything that you want, chili, anything that you want cooked beans with, instead of getting a can of beans from the store, you have your own that are cooked and ready to go, and it's such a time saver. So this year I'm going to try the Cherokee Trail of Tears. I prefer the look of black beans in like different types of chilies that I make. So I went with something black, and it says, historic heirloom of the Cherokee, makes vigorous vines, good for snaps or as dry beans. My intention with these is I have the 2 cattle panels in our garden. I might add another one, but I'm going to try to get these to grow up and over the cattle panels. It will fill in the cattle panels, and it won't take up space in the garden beds. That's my thought process. Sunflower, Mammoth Gray Striped, one of my favorites. These are monstrous. Mammoth is what it says, and they're not lying. So annual standard giant that produces delicious seeds, foot wide heads on 10-foot plants. They're not joking. So if you want a huge sunflower, mammoth gray striped is the way to go. Florenza is just a really pretty dainty sunflower. It just has different colors. It's got the cream and the burgundy, so I just wanted something a little different. And what's the, does it say the height? 3.5 to 4 feet tall. So the mammoth are 10 feet tall. The sunspots are 3 foot tall. These are 3.5 to 4. So hopefully I can stagger them and make like a beautiful showing of sunflowers. Russian red, ragged jack kale. You can't go wrong with kale. It's easy to grow. It's frost hardy, meaning you can sow it early and start getting a crop early. If you like smoothies like I do, putting kale in your smoothies is amazing. You can dehydrate kale, which I do. You dehydrate it, then you can either leave it in whole leaf form as much as possible in a jar, or you can crumble it up and then just take a handful of that dehydrated kale, toss it into an omelet or soups or stews or your smoothies, whatever you want, meatloaf, anything, pasta sauce. Kale is where it's at. It's good for you, and it's so easy to dehydrate it and save it for winter. I believe you can also freeze it if you are a person that enjoys spinach. I don't like that kind of mushy texture of cooked greens, but if you do, you can use kale. So, kale. Another little sunflower, chocolate cherry. I've grown these before and they are so beautiful. They're just a really, really pretty addition to the garden. And this one is 4 to 6 inches across. It doesn't say how tall they get. If memory serves, maybe I would say 4 to 5 foot tall, and this variety has multi branches, which the Florenza does as well. So instead of just one stalk with one head, it's a stalk that comes up and then it branches out and has many flowers on it. So it's a beautiful flower to grow. More clover, squash, zucchini, black beauty. This is one that I've had great luck with here in Maine. Last year, would you believe I got like 2 zucchini out of all of the zucchini plants that I planted? Because like I said, the slugs were so bad. Usually you plant 1 or 2 zucchini plants and you have like a house full and you're shoving zucchini into your neighbor's cars and their mailboxes and, you know, just trying to get rid of it. But zucchini is one of those things. It's easy to grow. I think of zucchini as something the new gardener should grow because it's a confidence booster, right? So it's a big plant, it's beautiful, it takes up space, it makes your garden look lovely, the flowers are huge, big yellow flowers. If you're a first-time gardener, irregardless of whether you actually enjoy eating zucchini or not, I would just encourage you to at least plant, you know, a couple of zucchini seeds or buy, you know, 1 or 2 little zucchini plants and tuck them in your garden. It's just a confidence booster to see something so beautiful and lovely growing. The fruit itself, I shred and freeze. I will shred it, freeze it in 2-cup portions because that's what my zucchini bread recipe calls for. That way, all winter long, if I want to, I can just take out portions out of the freezer, let it drain, let the ice and water drain off it, and use it in zucchini bread. You can also slice zucchini like in thick slices and put it on directly on the grill with some olive oil, some seasoning, and grill it. It's amazing. You can also add it to summer squash stir fry. So like I was saying with the yellow crookneck squash, you could add zucchini in there too. And then, oh shoot, what is that stuff called that I've made a couple of times, where you, in a pan, you layer a zucchini, summer squash, onion, tomato, zucchini, summer squash, onion, tomato. I think people also put eggplant in it, and you go around and around. It's a beautiful dish. You can put herbs and cheese on it. I can't think of what it's called, but zucchini is worth growing. More zucchini. Radish, Easter basket mix. I love growing radishes. I don't enjoy them, and neither does Jessie. We don't enjoy eating them fresh, not at all. However, they're beautiful. They're easy to grow. Again, a great first-time gardener seed to plant. We love growing them. I harvest them and slice them up and saute them, or quarter them and saute them in butter, salt and pepper. They are amazing. If you've never tried a cooked radish, do it. If you don't like the bite of a fresh radish from the garden, cooking them takes that bite out, and they are just sweet and beautiful. More radishes. French breakfast radish. French breakfast radish is a long radish, so it's not a round radish, and it's not as bitey, so it's a little more mild. These I can handle if they're young. Slicing them and putting them into a salad, I can handle them raw. But again, it's just a different look, a different shape to saute up, and delicious. Oh, lemon balm. Mandarina. So, says perennial zones 4 through 9, leaves infused with the intoxicating scent and flavor of mandarin oranges. Yum. So, bee balm is really good to grow if you enjoy making herbal remedies. I could use this in oil, so I could take and make lemon balm oil and then make soap out of it, or I'm sure there are other skincare products that you could make with it, but I just thought it sounded neat. Lemon balm is it attracts pollinators, and I just thought one with a mandarin orange scent sounded amazing, so that's new for me. Nasturtiums. I love nasturtiums. They are big, showy plants. They take a long time to grow, to get established, for me at least here in Maine. However, once they're established, the actual plant is big and showy. The flowers are beautiful. They're edible. If you can grow a lot of nasturtiums, if you have an upscale restaurant nearby, chefs will often purchase nasturtium flowers because they're a beautiful accent on a plate, and they are edible. So seriously, that's something that if you want to make money from your farm, you could get a little package, like with maybe, you know, whatever, 6 or 10 nasturtium flowers in it, and make some good money. So this is called Cherry Rose Jewel. More kale. More kale. This is dwarf Siberian. It just has a different texture, a different taste. I like having a variety of colors in the garden, and it does just taste a little bit different, but kale is so good for you. More clover. I think that's all. I got 4 clovers. Okay. This tomato, Cherokee Purple. There's a sad story that goes with this. It's not that sad, but on the cover of the Baker Creek catalog this year was a beautiful purple tomato. It was called Atomic Purple Tomato. And my sister said, if you'll plant these and grow them for me, I would love it. So of course I wanted to plant them and grow them for my sister, and they sold out. They had to have sold out so quickly because I ordered my seeds and they were already sold out. However, I thought, well, I bet my sister probably hasn't had a Cherokee purple tomato. These tomatoes have been around for a very long time. They grow in our area. My daughter that lives down the road has grown them successfully. So I wanted to grow something beautiful and lovely for my sister. So I bought these Cherokee tomatoes for her. So I hope that they grow well and that I can present her with some beautiful purpley red tomatoes that will make her happy. Tomato Amish paste. These are for me. Jesse and I don't enjoy eating tomatoes fresh. We just don't, neither one of us. We do enjoy dehydrated tomatoes tossed in to chili in the winter. If you dehydrate tomatoes, especially the little ones, dehydrate them and just put them whole into chili. It gives your chili a great, rich, sweet, tomatoey flavor. You can also cut them up dehydrated and put them in omelets. It gives you a great flavor like that. You can dehydrate them and powder them and add that to vegetable seasoning. Amish tomatoes is what I use on the occasion that I am going to make tomato sauce. I do have a video on me making easy tomato sauce, and Amish paste tomatoes are the ones that I use. They're more meaty, there's less liquid. I don't even peel them when I'm making sauce. So if sauce seems like a daunting task to you, check out my video, because I'm not all about spending hours and hours making sauce, because literally you have this many tomatoes and you end up with this much sauce. It takes a lot of tomatoes to make pasta sauce. In my opinion, it's really not worth it. I would rather pay someone else for their sauce that they made and use my space for something else. But I'll grow them. And a weird thing, although I don't like eating tomatoes, I love the smell of a tomato plant. Weird. Cosmos, Cosmic Orange. Cosmos is a great pollinator attractor. Cosmos are easy to grow. They self-seed. Everything good that you could want in a flower, Cosmos has it. You can cut them and use them in arrangements. It's just, they're bright. They get pretty tall. Yeah, so if you just want something different with that kind of whimsical, they're a very feathery, flowy flower. So if you just want something pretty and whimsical in your garden, Cosmos is a great addition, and they come in a variety of colors. I already have up by the greenhouse last year, I planted like a light pink and an ivory and a periwinkle purple. It's just a combination. And so now I'm going to add some orange in a different location, but that's a great flower to add to your property. More kale, butternut squash, Waltham butternut. I have been growing Waltham butternut squash for at least 7 to 10 years. Butternut squash is Jesse's favorite vegetable, and when we lived at our previous home, oh my goodness, the butternut squash was ridiculous. I'll see if I can find it. I'm sure I can. I filled the bucket of our tractor with butternut squash. We grew that many butternut squash. Here, I've been struggling to find the right place. And last year, you can't judge anything by last year. So if you started gardening in 2023 and failed miserably, please don't think it was you. If you live in Maine, I should say, and failed miserably in the garden in 2023, it wasn't you. It was a horrible gardening year. And out of all of the butternuts that I planted last year, I had 2 in a secret location. I like to plant them in different places. They were ready. They were almost perfect, ready to pick. And the deer walked right on by and said, "Ooh, those look lovely." And they ate them halfway down, both of them. I'm going to give it another shot this year. I know I can grow butternut squash. I just have to find the right place. This is the year. Please, Lord, let it be the year. And another butternut squash. Last but not least, Genevieve's basil, which was a free seed. I was like, did I even order basil? So free seed, like who couldn't use more basil? So that's awesome. Thank you, Baker Creek, for this awesome free gift. I already have basil seeds, so I didn't order more. All of these seeds that you can see are in addition to seeds that I already had or seeds that I saved. I saved seeds from green beans, yellow beans, broccoli. I have so many seeds. There are so many seeds that I've saved over the last couple of years that now I don't have to buy seeds. Dried beans. So many of these things, let's see, what could I save seeds from? Radish seeds I have saved. So I could, in theory, save tomato seeds, butternut squash seeds. I could save zucchini seeds. I have cucumber seeds that I saved. I could save the beans. So when you harvest your dry beans, they then become seeds for the next year, or beans that you can eat. So obviously, I don't know about this glass gem corn, but I might try it. Why not? What's the worst that's going to happen? And sunflower seeds, obviously, you can just dry them and take them and plant more if you'd like to. Carrots, I think, take like a year. If you leave a carrot in the ground for a whole year, then it flowers and you could get the seeds from that if you had time and wanted to do it. Celery, I'm not sure where the seeds come from. If you leave it in the ground, obviously it's going to flower at some point and you could get the seeds from it. I've not ever done that. Peppers, we all know where the seeds are in there. So you can, in theory, purchase seeds once, and then if you save seeds, not have to purchase seeds again for a long time. I do this for things that I haven't let go to seed, or that I forgot, or I had a bad crop, or I just want to introduce new varieties to our garden. But let me know what's something that you're excited about this year for seeds, especially if you're in Maine, because I want to know what you're successful at. So I hope you've enjoyed this little unopening of seeds from Baker Creek, and yeah, I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Thanks for joining me. Take care.